Alright, welcome race fans once again to MaxSpeedTV. We have another great race for you here tonight. Again, this afternoon we do mostly night races, but right now we are here with the T&D Short Track Series presented by MaxSpeedTV. There are a lot of great drivers going to be racing with us here tonight. So far they are still piling into the track, so more coming. You see about 5 or 6 there on track. Looks like the 08 of Jacob Sampson has a new paint job here tonight. But we're going to throw the driver bar up so you can see who we're watching here tonight. But again, let's let it randomly cycle through. But to go through all of the sponsors here tonight, we want to give a big shout out to T&D Rustic Decor for being the title sponsor of the Short Track Series. So definitely a big shout out to them, as well as TJ Woodworking. Make sure you look at both of these people on Facebook. Give them a like, as they are the sponsors for this series here. So definitely give them a huge shout out on Facebook. TJ Woodworking also giving away plaques at the end of the season of this and the 360 series for the No Excuses Sim series. On the racing side of things, we have SimSpeedShop.com. They are one of our newest partners here. Definitely check them out for some great sim racing products. HRE Motorsports and Elite 7 Racing, the two teams here that keep us going via donations there. So definitely check them out. Virtual2reality.com or .tv, sorry. Definitely check them out. We're actually streaming on their Facebook page right now, courtesy of them. So if you're on there, thanks for tuning in on their Facebook page as well. Dirtco Media House. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be streaming to their page and on the Virtual 2 Reality page on any given race night. Again, they are the broadcast partner here with us that allows us to do that. And our newest partner on board, Ohio IndyCar League. So definitely check them out. They are an Ohio exclusive league to Ohio club members here on iRacing. So if you are in Ohio club on iRacing, check them out for some great IndyCar racing. As it looks like we got about 12 or 13 cars here. There are a few more still trickling in throughout the evening here, as they will get ready to get things rolling here in about 15 minutes or so. So again, we want to thank everyone for tuning in with us here tonight, and it should be some great racing. Alright, and again here, just for a minute here, we'll put that Short Track Series logo back up. But great racing here tonight. Again, we just want to thank everyone for tuning in, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube with us here tonight. Definitely thanks for tuning in. We probably have some of our sponsors watching tonight, so thanks for tuning in with us here. We guarantee it will not disappoint here tonight. We're going to have some fantastic racing coming your way here shortly. Again, about 13 or so minutes left here in practice. So we are going to step away here. We'll be right back in just a minute here. We're going to see if we can't get a couple of these drivers in the booth for an interview. So we will be right back here in just a few seconds. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here We have the number 21, Brian Jones, with us here. So first off, Brian, welcome to the booth. And you're 4 points out of the lead right now. So going into tonight, it's going to be a good battle between you and Chuck Kemper. So any strategic things you got planned here tonight, or is it kind of just keep the car clean and hopefully you don't get involved in anything?
Yeah, I got to keep the car pretty clean. Don't want to get out of the race. Just the important thing is I got to finish. And I know Charlie Ryan, I don't know if he's going to be here this week. He wasn't there last week, so it kind of puts us in a situation with Chuck and I. We're going to be battling it out for the points, I guess.
Yeah, definitely 1 point away. We start with 40 points, and it goes 39, 38. So if you finish 5 points ahead of him, you'll definitely be ahead of him in the points, but you also get a bonus point for leading a lap and a bonus point for leading the most laps. So ideally, you'd like to be up there and lead the most laps as well as a lap. If you do that, you may stand a good chance of passing him here. This could be very close at the end of the night, just depending on how it goes. But overall, you're sitting really good. We'll see where you stack up here in qualifying, but this particular track, it has so many different configurations. With this one being the outer ring, how tricky is it? Have you kind of gotten a feel for it already?
Well, I have a lot of experience with this track, considering I downloaded it yesterday. So I'm just hoping, I can do well.
Well, definitely. We'll see how you do here. We're looking to see some great racing. Any shout-outs or sponsor you want to give for getting you here today in your truck?
Well, as always, jalopnik.com, just thanking them and everybody else, and thanks for MaxSpeedTV for broadcasting the race.
All right. Well, again, that was Brian Jones in the number 21 here tonight, so make sure you check him out on the track as he will be racing for the lead in the championship points here. Again, that is sponsored by TJ Woodworking. So we're going to be right back here in just a few minutes. We'll see if we can't get another driver in the booth, and we'll be right back with that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here, sort of with an interview. We have Michael Given here with us. Unfortunately, you have to work during day, or actually at night when we practice. Try and get on the day shift, so you don't get a lot of practice time in with the rest of us. So you're kind of in limbo right now until you get on day jobs. But you're going to be here in the booth with us instead. So what's it like being in the booth versus being on this track right now? This seems like a very tricky track.
No, it's definitely a very difficult track for sure, no matter what type of car you're driving. A couple months ago, we all tried this in the K&N cars, and it just turned into a big wreck fest. Expect a lot of slipping and sliding today. Tires don't last long here, and cautions should be pretty abundant.
Yeah, right as you say that, Dylan Altum going around there. It says David Altum, but it is actually Dylan Altum here as he's going around there. And a nice looking paint job on Jason Deere, was watching his. Running an old Kevin Harvick paint job on the truck here, so a very nice looking paint job, as well as the 41. I'm not sure who the 41 is here. We'll take a look. We can find him. It's Aaron McSparrow. So nice looking Miller Genuine Draft paint job going on there for him tonight. Do you have anyone in mind? You've been watching practice. We see Brian Jones is the fastest here in practice with a 17.285, but you were on the track for a little bit. Anyone that you see out there that stands a good chance of getting a win here tonight?
Well, the 41 of Aaron Sparrow's fast week in and week out, and he's second fastest right now, right behind Brian Jones, who you just mentioned. But yeah, I think Jones, Sparrow, and Oakley are definitely probably going to be the top favorites tonight to win. But those other guys just below them in the standings right now, Trey Galgan and Chuck Kemper and David Alton, or Dylan Alton rather, they're sticking right behind those guys. So unless there's some trouble early on for the leaders, I'd say probably those top 5 or 6 guys right now would be the best picks for the win.
Yeah, and we were looking. We just got on talking to Brian Jones about Chuck Kemper. In the battle they have gone on 4 points. Separate them right now. Chuck Kemper 4th fastest, Brian Jones 1st fastest, separated by 4 points. So this very well could get interesting here tonight.
Yeah, I don't have the standings in front of me like you do probably, but getting halfway through the season tonight, I believe. So this could very well set the stage for who wins the championship for this season.
Yeah, I am definitely looking forward to it. And actually, I can get you those standings real fast for you, so you can have those right offhand. But I do expect some very good racing. You said it's a very slippery track out there, so that could play a factor in tonight's race. But I already see some guys getting too wide here going into the corners, so that could play good for them or bad. We'll see once the racing gets started. It could spell disaster, or we could see some really good racing. I have a feeling these guys are going to push it a little bit more in practice and qualifying than they will in the race. I'm sure on the driver's side you can confirm that for us if it's true. That you want to get a good time to get out front, but then you're not going to push it quite as hard in the actual race to not wear out those tires and not possibly spin out.
Yeah, the 100-lap race, they're definitely going to need to pit, even if there's no cautions. I would expect around lap 35 to 40, I think we would see green flag pit stops. But again, it's such a slippery track, and we've got such a wide range of skill levels that I highly doubt we're going to see green flag pit stops.
Yeah, that I don't see. I do expect to see at least a caution or two here tonight. If we go caution free, that will be a very amazing race here. But we see people spinning out here in practice, so to go caution free is not something I expect. But we do know they have 50% fuel here, so that's definitely going to play a factor into it. So they will have to pit for fuel at least once. 100 laps around here. This is not a very big track, but they will have to pit for fuel. and you confirmed that they will want to pit for tires because their tires are going to get really worn here, especially if they start sliding around a lot.
Absolutely. I haven't had as much practice with half a fuel load like these guys have, but I can only imagine that it's going to be even lighter, which means even looser. So, yeah, it's probably not going to be long before we get our first caution.
Yeah, so we watched Brett Osborne and Brian Jones going around there, sitting in the turn. It's going to be very interesting, like we said, as we have about a minute and a half here. We may have another commentator coming in here. Matt Hicks might be joining us, as looks like there from second. We are losing some internet. Not sure what's going on there, but we did drop internet for just a second, but we're good to go now. So again, we may have Matt Hicks joining us here in just a little bit. He will be joining us on the dirt race later tonight for the UDRA race. We got about 55 seconds till we get to qualifying. So right now, like we said, Brian Jones up top. Aaron Maspero, you were talking about him, second fastest, followed by Andy Oakley, Chuck Kemper, and Trey Galgon are your top 5. So this is going to be a very interesting race, and I do expect to see some great racing. Hopefully we don't see too many cautions here, but if we do, that may play a factor in tonight's race as to where everyone places. I know you look at the top 2, they need to have a good finish, but if you look through the point standings here, we go back to about 4th place. Caleb Weekly, Charlie Ryan, Jason McSparron, those guys separated by 1 and 2 points. I'm back for 4th through 6th. And then we know Ed Sauls got called into work, so he is not going to be here. But then you look behind them, Doug Pickering, Brett Osborne, Trey Galgon. They're also separated by 2 or 3 points apiece. So there are a lot of little battles going on throughout the field right now.
Yeah, I'm looking through it right now. It's definitely going to be a tight race no matter which way you slice it. And, one bad week for those top 3, and then, like you said, 4th through practically 7th has a fair shot at taking the championship lead. I think even today, should the leaders have problems.
Yeah, if the leaders have problems, you definitely could see something interesting here. And we've watched Rachel Hunt for this is our 5th season. We've had 4 last year, and now 5 this year, or 1 this year makes our 5th one. But again, Rachel Hunt, such a good driver here, sitting 3rd in points right now, 10 points out. So by some freak chance, Chuck Kemper and Brian Jones have an off night here, she very well could take the points lead.
Absolutely, and I wouldn't count her out even if they didn't have a bad night. For Rachel, it's only a matter of time before she gets her first win of the season if she hasn't already. I don't believe she has.
She has not yet. We've actually had 3 different winners in 3 races. As you see right now, putting in a time of 8th fastest with a 17.783. So putting in a good job there. She also uses a VR headset, so she has a slight advantage over the rest of these guys out here, as she can kind of see a little bit more around what she's doing. So if she manages to get on that outside line, she can get a good start, as that's kind of what you need. You need to be able to see that car on the inside if you want to get a good start.
Yeah, I've started playing around with a little bit of VR myself, and while my computer's not quite up to specs, I plan on fixing that pretty soon. But it's definitely a surreal experience compared to just driving on TV screens like the majority of us do. But it's definitely got a distinct advantage to it. And it looks like qualifying is actually well underway right now. Looks like a couple drivers had some slip-ups.
Yeah, we've had a few, and we still have a few drivers that have not taken laps yet. As you see Brent Day out on the track, he is putting in a lap. It's about 2.5 minutes to go. So Trey Galgon, Aaron Maspero, and obviously you were out there. You are not going to be racing today, but you'll watch Maspero. He will actually run after everybody else has. So interesting there that he does so, is apparently we are yet again losing internet. We have not had this issue up until today, so not sure what is going on.
Got a little weather out there in your direction?
We do not, actually. It is sunny as all get out, so I'm not sure why we are having connection issues once again. We are going to see if we can't get this fixed.
Yeah, I just had about 3 inches of rain dumped on me. I'm surprised I'm not the one having problems, but hey, so long as by the time race time we're all ready, set to go, I think it's going to be a good day to watch.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like we are back. So I don't know what happened there, as we got about a minute 50 left here. So we are going to step away for just a second, get to the national anthem, and we will be right back.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, we are back here with your race. Again, it should be a good one. We have about 16 drivers that are going to be taking to the track here today. But while everyone is getting on grid here, we will take a second to go through your HRE Motorsports starting grid. Brandon, if you want, or Michael, if you want to do the honors and roll through that HRE Motorsports starting grid for us.
No problem. And starting on the pole, the very quick lap of 17.268, Brian Jones in that 21 truck. And right outside is the 53 of Andy Oakley with a 17.304. And row 2 on the inside, David Alton sets a blistering time down there. And right outside is the 17 of Doug Pickering. Chuck Kemper takes the inside in 5th place on row 3. And on the outside of him, we got Philip Daniels Jr. Row 4, we got Brad Osborne in the 9 truck, and outside of him, starting in 8th, is going to be Brent Day. Starting in 9th is going to be Jacob K. Sampson in that 08 truck, and outside of him in the 12 is going to be Caleb Weekly. Rachel Hunt takes the inside of row 6, and outside of her is going to be Jason Deere. 13th is going to be Chris Arenci in that 78 truck, and outside is going to be Carl Hayes in the 96. And 15th is going to be the 41 truck of Aaron Maspero. He did not qualify, and neither did the 49 of Trey Galgan. They both set really fast times during practice, so they're probably planning on some early cautions to make their way back up front.
Yeah, and of course, the only other car not on the track that is here, the one we were waiting on, but obviously is not going to take the grid, is yourself, who has opted to get into the booth here. Obviously, not having a whole lot of time to practice, felt yourself to be a bit of a danger out there, if you might say. Not that you're a bad driver by any means, just, you don't have the time to practice. And this is a very tricky race. These trucks are very powerful, and these tracks are very small. So if you can't get a whole lot of practice time in, it is very dangerous to be out here, as anything can happen. And with racing, anything will happen.
Yeah, I wouldn't have felt comfortable coming out here in a Legends car. Those things would be easiest to set up.
Yeah, definitely And while we're here, we'll zoom back to Chuck Kemper. So we'll go on board with him a few times during the night so everyone knows. We have the T&D Rustic Decor on board camera with him. We may try to get an interview with him in here if we can. But that being said, it's almost time for the race to start. So this is going to get very interesting here as Brian Jones is about ready to start the race. So we'll let you give him the countdown to green.
Sounds good. Going into turn 3 now. Looks like the pace car should be pulling off any minute now. All right, pace car is gone. Green flag is out and it's underway.
All right, and they again are racing here. A pretty good start for everyone. Everyone kind of getting a slower start to kind of getting a feel for this track, as you already have a battle going on here in the front between Andy Oakley and Brian Jones. And it looks like the 17 is going to get, who was that? Not going around. There's the caution coming out. Brett Osborne getting around. The 53 getting spun there. Let's go back and take a look.
That was definitely messy. Count about six or seven trucks caught up there.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. It looked like I'm not sure if the 53 missed a gear or something. But the 17, Doug Pickering just spun him around there. Rachel Hunt getting some damage into it. The 72 getting some. So a lot of cars getting minimal damage. Not sure again what happened there to the 53. Maybe he missed a gear or something. But either way, the 17 of Doug Pickering did get into the back of him, spinning him around. I can't picture Doug Pickering or Andy Oakley being that aggressive here early in. We know they're both good drivers. So this could interesting. Maybe we can get a word in with one of these real fast to see what happened. If you want to try to get the 53 in here, if we can anyway. I think he's here in TeamSpeak with us. We'll see maybe what happened there.
Yeah, I think Andy's down there. Like I said earlier, the 41, he made his way through that caution, all by it barely. It looked like he pitted a bit for some extra tires. But the 49, Trey Gallagher, looks like he got caught up at the end of that mess there, so he will be in the back of the field again.
Yeah, we'll take a wood. See here. Andy, you got a copy?
Yeah, hello.
Trying to figure out what happened. Not sure if we know neither you or Doug raced that aggressive this early. But trying to figure out, he got into the back of you there. Did you miss a gear, or did he just tag you there, misjudging the brake?
He just got in a bit deep and just told me, that was all. He's admitted it, so it's fine.
Yeah, it didn't look anything intentional. We were just unsure if maybe a gear got missed or if he just overshot it or what happened.
No, pretty normal, and just went on that high line, but yeah, it just got a bit deep.
Well, it definitely does happen. This is short track racing, but as far as damage goes, do you have too much, or are you able to recover from it?
Yeah, I've got it repaired, so should be all good for the rest of the race, all being well.
All right, well, we see the lights are off, so we're going to put you back down to the pits.
Thank you very much.
All right. Quick interview there, as we're already fixing to go green once again here to start lap number 7, but good to see he did get that damage repaired, so he probably used his fast repair. That can make it interesting as the green flag is back out, and right there Brian Jones out front. It looks like Dylan Altum running in second, but he's going to make it very interesting. These guys are not giving an inch right there as we have one going around, but no caution comes out. Not sure who that was. I believe it was Chris Arencia, as he has the leaders coming. We'll see right here from this angle. He is going to back it up and stay out of harm's way, as I'm sure he will probably clear the track here in a minute. Oh, there he goes. He is going to pull it back, but back up to the front. They are still battling 3 and 4 wide back here. Back mid-pack with Brett Osborne, Doug Pickering, and Jacob Sampson back here. So nobody is giving an inch right now.
No, and I'm still trying to make sense of where every driver is here in a second. Everybody's still sorting themselves out in the back.
Yeah, Doug Pickering about to go around. He is way loose.
Cars everywhere. And no caution yet.
How is there no caution for that? Doug Pickering got into the outside wall, got loose as he still has a ton of damage. Somehow spins that car around, not bringing out a caution. It looked like he may have got into Brett Osborne just a little bit as well. But I am not sure why a caution has not been thrown. But interesting. Again, iRacing throws all cautions here, and it does not deem that it needs one. That's going to put Chuck Kemper in second place right now, right behind Brian Jones. So as they run right now, Brian Jones will have a cut away 2 points into Chuck Kemper's lead.
And he's got a solid half-second advantage over Chuck Kemper. And right behind Chuck Kemper's 41 of Aaron Maspero, back up to third already.
Yeah, he is. He's moving forward really quickly. As again, Osborne did lead 1 lap. Jones has led 11. So at this point in the race, he has led the most laps, but that very well could change. So we're definitely going to be keeping an eye on that throughout the races. Looks like we have the 08 Jacob Sampson, who looks like he blew that engine as he is now on pit road.
I was just looking at the drive-by camera. I just saw a bunch of smoke in the bottom. Couldn't tell who it was, but I don't know if he had a fast repair or not, left or not. Do you know?
I do not know if he does. I know obviously we do have one in this league, but I'm not sure if he used it. It looks like he obviously is going to have to tow, so he's going to be on pit road for at least 2 minutes, regardless of a fast repair. So he is going to go multiple laps down, as he's already 3 laps down now. But we got a good battle brewing right now between Chuck Kemper, Brian Jones, and Aaron McSparrow at front. It looks like Chuck Kemper really wants to get up there and lead a lap here to get that bonus point, but Brian Jones is not having any of it, as he is holding him off for first place right now.
Yeah, and that's allowed Aaron Sparrow to get right to the outside of Chuck Kemper. Looks like he will pass him here going in turn 1, although Chuck's keeping hard on the bottom. We'll see how it ends up in the backstretch.
Yeah, that is a battle between the 40 and the 41, and not sure who that is pulling it to a stop there. As we look, somebody just pulled it into pit road or pulled it to a stop. I'm not sure who that was.
It saw like it was some kind of Tide truck. Was that the 17?
It may have been that Doug Pickering. I thought Doug was in a black truck. I don't think it was him. I'm not sure who it was, but again, they did pull it to pit road. But there's still a battle going on. Aaron McSparrow did get by Chuck Kemper here, but Chuck Kemper's still trying to battle side by side with him to see if he can't possibly get second place back. Because right now, as they run, that's 3 points. We'll have a 1 point separating first and second as they run right now on the track. So he really wants to get up there and maintain that points lead.
He absolutely does. Trying to keep track of the point standings alongside this, but looks like Chuck might still have a solid lead over. No, I'm sorry, Brian Jones would be the leader right now. You're right.
Yeah, it's going to be very close. He has led the most laps. They got a 4 point difference coming in. He's led the most laps and a lap. So plus he's 1 point ahead. Chuck Kemper should still have the points lead at they run right now, but it will be. Actually, no, they might be tied. I'm not sure. We'll work out all the points. They're either going to be tied or Brian Jones would have the lead. But Chuck Kemper's still battling right now with Aaron McSparrow. Just can't quite get by him. But now Aaron McSparrow is trying to get up there and get a run for the lead.
Yeah, but Brian Jones just has a clean track in front of him. He can run on any line he wants. I don't think McSparrow's going to get by him too easily without a little bumping going.
Yeah, definitely not. As we look back here to the 08, I believe that is. It is. The 08 is actually 5 laps down right now, but running in a group here with about 4 other people. They're going to make it 3 wide. Here comes the 96 trying to get in there. Carl Heiss, he is on the lead lap, so he wants to get by this 08 as quickly as he can. Obviously, he does not want to get trapped by a lap car, and it looks like he will do it. So, that's going to be interesting there as they make contact, the 96 and the 08. I can tell you Carl Heiss is not going to be too thrilled about that, having a lap car bump into him, as it looks like Jacob Sampson's going to go Looks like he's going to go around, but looks like he's just going to pull it to pit road there.
And a quick update, I know we talked about him a couple minutes ago, but the tied truck was actually the 78 of Chris Rencia, and he has retired from the race.
That is unfortunate. He came in here, he knew he hadn't had a whole lot of practice, so he was probably not going to have a good shot at winning, but definitely came in here and gave it a shot. So we will congratulate him on that. He did come in here and put his best foot forward. Just wasn't working in the cards for him here today. But this is a very tough track. As we look back at some of our drivers that we know normally do good. Carl Hayes is currently in 8th place right now. He's trying to work his way through the field. But normally we see him a little bit higher up in this field.
Yeah, for sure. And up front, looks like Aaron Maspero's taking over the lead, and he's just put Rachel Hunt, looks like it's 3rd lap down now, and he's going to work on the 17 of Doug Pickering. And Chuck Kemper is all over the back bumper of Brian Jones still.
Yeah, he is definitely giving him a run for his money right now. And this could get interesting again. You have, like you said, Aaron Maspero up there running, trying to pass these lap cars. He got by Brian Jones fairly quickly, really. But he didn't have those lap cars. Can one of these other two, Brian Jones or Chuck Kemper, get back by him with these lap cars in the way now?
Well, if these lap cars start going side-by-side racing, I really wouldn't doubt it. But that's only a matter of if Brian Jones and Chuck Kemper can actually sort out their own battle. Otherwise, Maspero's just going to pick them off and leave them behind.
Yeah, and that seems to be what they're doing right now. 0.85 seconds ahead of 2nd place. 1.216 seconds ahead of 3rd place right now. So they are definitely losing time right now, as it looks like they may gain just a little bit there. So, you know, it's not over yet. We still have over half this race to go. The question is, do they have what they need to get up there and get to them?
That's right. And looks like the 53 of Andy Oakley actually started outside pole today. He has retired from the race as well. Oh, looks like there's another truck on the walls. The 12 of... who's in the 12 car?
That is Caleb Weekly. Didn't look like he hit it too hard, but he did indeed hit it. So he gets into the outside wall just a little bit, and that's going to be enough to let some cars by him. It looks like he's still 2 laps down, so Doug Pickering trying to battle with him, but Doug Pickering is currently quite a ways off of him.
Spinning around behind the leaders. Whoa, looks like he saved it. Nice save by Jacob Sampson.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Again, that is he's got the 72 with him right now. As we'll look, again, that is Brett Day about here with the leaders. So a lot of lap cars going down now, as we only have 7 cars on the lead lap out of the 14 that are currently on track.
Yeah, Aaron Maspero's got a really fast truck going for him right now, and he just keeps picking them up and laying them down. Although I think 7th place of Carlos Hayes right now, he's got about, let's say, about half a track still. Maybe a little less, but it's probably going to be another while before the 41 catches another lap car.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And you see Brett Osborne in there. He is still on the lead lap. He's battling to hang on to that position. Philip Daniels Jr. in here, so that's a good little battle going on. You do have the 17 of Doug Pickering in there. It looks like Brett's getting way out of shape as he's going to slide it up and save it somehow, but that will cost him the position there, as Carl Hayes is going to take it 6th position from Brett Osborne, as a caution is going to come out.
Oh, where's the caution? Looks like it's the 08 again. So
yeah.
Jacob Sampson finally loses it.
Let's go back and take a look and see officially what happened.
Looks like he may have just lost it off the corner, like maybe got into the gas a little too quickly.
Yeah, somehow not getting into the 45 of Jason Deere, as he got that thing sideways, does a little donut and keeps it going. But surprisingly, that brings out a caution, but a car going completely around does not. So iRacing, again, is the one that throws all cautions here. Race control does not throw them unless it is absolutely needed. So sometimes it is questionable as the cautions they do call. But I'm sure as now we're on lap 43 of 100, coming up on halfway, these guys may be kind of glad there's a caution coming out.
Yeah, and I can tell you someone who'd be really glad would be the 49er Trey Galligan. I believe he would be getting the lucky dog, so he'll be back on the lead lap. But everybody's getting on pit road, getting their 4 fresh sticker tires, and I think it's going to be some pretty happy drivers coming back to the green flag here in a bit.
Yeah, I definitely would agree with that as we go back up to the front. Philip Daniels Jr. Out front right now. As we'll see, we'll go to pit road here and see who all comes in. As right there, everybody coming to pit road. Very few cars will be staying out. We'll let you know who does. Obviously, the 08 going to be out. He is laps down. And people coming in, people already getting ready to come out. As we switch over to the other camera here, you see them all coming in. Looks like our top about 4 drivers not going to come. Obviously, you said it earlier. Andy Oakley starting second. He is out of the race, and it looks like he has indeed packed it up, and he is no longer with us. So has packed up the hauler and left. But very interesting here. Everybody has made one pit stop now, and look who is now your race leader, the 41 of Aaron Maspero.
Yeah, he should pick up the lead coming to the line here. It looks like all the pit stops are still cycling through. And, yep, Sparrow being the lead. Chuck Kemper looks like he got himself back out in second in front of Brian Jones in third. That's a big move right there.
Yeah, that's exactly what Chuck Kemper needed to do. He needs to stay out in front of Brian Jones. He doesn't have to stay much. He can lose. He can finish a spot or two behind him and maintain that lead. He really needs to get out there and lead a lap and possibly lead the most laps to get those 2 bonus points here tonight. And I'm not sure if he has any X's at this point, or incident points, but that is a bonus point for a clean race if you run the entire race. So if he can pick that up, that will help him as well. But Brian Jones may have that as well, so it's going to be interesting. I can't see any damage on the 21 of Brian Jones. So both of them could get that as the green flag is getting ready to come back out.
Yeah, if Chuck Kemper was to take the lead, this is probably going to be his best opportunity to do it. A lot of these trucks seem to be favoring the high line today, and Chuck's going to be right there. Let's just hope he doesn't jump the restart.
Yeah, definitely green. The flag is out, and they are off. There it is, and at the line, it is going to be Aaron Maspero that will lead it. Here comes Brett Osborne. Thought about making it 3 wide. He did think better of that. He is not going to push the issue here as they're starting to single file out, but not up front. They're going to keep it
going back underneath Chuck Kemper for second there.
Yeah, he's going to try to get that spot. We'll see as in 2 laps we'll be officially halfway done. And right now it has not been a letdown. We've only had a few cautions here as we look. Only 2 cautions in 50 laps. So that is not bad with 51 laps left to go here in this race.
No, and I was expecting a lot more cautions, but these guys have really got their trucks hooked up today for these light-loaded trucks.
Yeah, and then too, we had those 2 that didn't throw cautions, which is very odd. But we're looking back here to 5th place, Carl Hayes. He is currently sitting in 5th now, so he has gained 2 spots on pit road, and he's trying to run down Brett Osborne right now, who currently sitting in 4th, having a pretty good run for himself here if he can get a top 5 finish.
It looks like the 8 truck of Philip Jr. He got real loose or something, but he gets dropped all the way back to the tail end of the field. I'm not sure what exactly went down there, but he is now back in 8th place behind all these outbound cars.
Yeah, he has Philip Daniels has a lot of damage to that. And so it looks like the 16 of Rachel Hunt was going to go way down low, and then she shot up, almost getting into the back bumper of the 8. But she did steer clear of him. So it's going to be interesting. We usually see Rachel a little higher up. She's been doing so good. And today just not having quite the run that we normally see her have.
It looks like she just came right back out of the pits there. I think that was why she was killing up the track. But yeah, I was hoping for a lot more of her today too, but I think she got caught up in that early lap 1 wreck.
Yeah, and just for the ones that don't know her, it is just an awesomeness to see her out here racing. We won't go into too much detail, but it's always awesome to see her race and how good she is. Knowing what we know, it's just an awesome sight to see her out there on the track at all.
Yeah, she's definitely one of the better racers of this league, and I've been racing against her for well over a year now. And every single time, no matter if it's a fixed setup or an open setup, she's always in contention for the win.
And it looks like the 08 of Jacob Sampson was getting a little out of shape once again. He is having a hard time handling that car right now, or that truck. He has been all over the place. I believe it's his second or third time he has spun. One time it did not bring out a caution, but he is having a major handful with that truck here tonight.
Yeah, I'm not seeing too much damage on his truck right now, but probably could just be his setup hasn't been built for this long run.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, somebody who has set it up, though, Aaron Maspero, up at the front of this race, 1.45 second lead. So his truck must really love that clean air. He's gotten out front, and he has not looked back as he has got a huge lead over Chuck Kemper and Brian Jones right now.
It looks like the field is finally spread out for the most part. It's like in the back of the field, just behind the 92, David Altum. It's like some of the lap cars, the lead lap cars, are still fighting each other there for some spots on the track.
Yeah, definitely they are. You see, we haven't talked about him. We have talked about him in the past. Trey Galgon back here in 9th position. So very interesting to see him there. As you see, if you look just a few, the 96 Carl Hayes, he did get by Brett Osborne, but look at the damage he has on that truck now. He has quite a bit of damage to that truck, so not sure where he got it from, but he indeed has a lot of damage to the front and the back of that truck.
Yeah, that's for damage. I don't know how much longer that's going to work in his favor. I'm willing to bet that he probably got a little bit of bump on the going around 49 there, Trey Galvin, but looks like for the most part he should be okay.
Yeah, definitely I would think so. As it looked like for a second there, Brian Jones had a little blink, so he may be having some connection issues here. That is not what he wants to see, as right now him and Chuck Kemper are starting to get closer and closer together here, as we may see another battle for second place here in a minute.
Yeah, Chuck looks like he's starting to get a little tight there coming off the corners there. Brian Jones pulls him way close after going into the middle of the corners there.
Yeah, those two, they're running two different lines here. It looks like Chuck's running more of a high line, where you see Brian Jones in the 21 running more middle to low. So obviously at the moment it seems like Chuck Kemper has the better preferred line, as he has the run coming out of the corner.
Yeah, it looks like Brian Jones may have gotten a little bit for a tighter swing on his setup. He kind of drives a little bit like I do. We like to dive it down in the corners really early and then come higher off the corners late. And that looks like what he's trying to go for. I think he might try to cross over Chuck if he gets a good enough run.
Yeah, and it definitely is two different distinct lines, and we'll see later on in this race, as we're already on lap 68 of 100, we'll see which one of those lines benefits one another, or maybe if fuel comes into play or tire wear, it very well could play a factor. You dive it in there a little harder, it can wear those tires just a little bit more, so we'll see if those tires do fall off or not. But again, the youngster in the 9, Brett Osborne, he is right now putting on a battle with the 72. No, sorry about that. It's not the 72. It's the 17, which is actually a lap down. So that's not a battle, as Brett's going to get into the outside wall. And that's going to cost him a little bit of time. And he is really loose right now, as he almost spun it out coming out of turn 4.
Yeah, his truck looks like it's starting to go away from him. I'm assuming they've got about 15-20 laps on their tires by now. So yeah, the fall off here is really starting to show with some of these slower cars.
Yeah, it definitely is. Again, we'll take a look here. 30 laps to go now. So this race is winding down, and there's Brett loose again, trying to hang on to that with everything he has, and he does save it from getting into the wall. But that was a very scary moment, especially for Philip Daniels, who's sitting right behind him now. Both of them are on the lead lap at the moment, and they're battling with the 72 that's in there.
Looks like the 8 of Philip Daniels has gotten on the wall there, too.
A lot of these guys have been getting into the walls. There's a lot of damage on both sides of these. They've been getting into each other as well. Again, it's a very tricky track, and a lot of beating and banging will go on here as we're especially closing in these last probably 25, 20 laps. We're going to see a lot more aggressive moves, I would imagine.
I can almost assure you that there's going to be at least one more caution here. I don't think these guys are going to be able to hold on too much longer, especially not for 25 more laps.
Oh, contact made with Philip Daniels and Brett Osborne. Good job. Philip did bump him, but he let off of it just in time to not spin him around. But that's going to give both of them a little bit more damage. And there goes the 92 and the 8 spinning around, and there's that caution. Let's go see. Maybe it might have been Dylan Alton that spun him there, so let's go take a look.
Yeah, I saw that the 8 had gotten loose, and it gave Dylan Alton a good run in the bottom. Oh, looks like the 8 lost it off the turn 4 and just came down into the 92. Very unfortunate for Dylan Alton.
We'll see here. We got a good angle. Yep, there it is. Yeah, it just had nowhere to go. From the first angle, it looked like he spun him, but indeed he did not. Philip Daniel Jr. is just getting loose off the corner, like you said, and unfortunately, Dylan had nowhere to go but right into the side of his door. So that is going to give Dylan some damage now, as he is going to have a pretty crinkled up front car, or front of that truck. So we'll see how it all plays out. We do have most of the people coming to pit road right now. Taking a look here.
It looks like the 96 of Carl Hayes may have stayed out there. I have to double check there.
Yeah, indeed, you are right. He is on the lead lap. So Brian Jones on pit road. So again, there's Carl Hayes. He is going to take your race lead here, and that will officially lead him a lap, I do believe, when they cross the line.
Let's see, he's got the 08 in front of him, who is quite a few laps down. That's Jacob Sampson. Yeah, he's 10 laps down right now. He's going to get the wave around. But yeah, 96 is the official new race leader. And right behind him is going to be Trey Galgan. He stays out as well.
Yeah, so
I'm sorry.
This could be interesting. We know for a fact, we've watched Carl Hayes many, many times. He is not afraid to run on old tires, especially as it looks like we're going to have about 19 laps when we get the green flag. Lights are still on, so probably we'll go with 18 to go. That's only our third caution of the race. With 22 to go now, it'll be about 19 or 20 when the green flag comes back out. So he very well could run on those old tires and possibly get a win here tonight.
And I apologize. I think Trey Galgan is on pit road right now. Or was.
Yeah, he just got off pit road, 14-second stop. So everybody right now has about 1-2 laps on them, 35 for Carl Hayes in the 96. But it's not going to matter because the green flag is just about ready to come out.
Looks like the race officials have thrown the caution again. Something's not quite adding up somewhere.
Alright, so delayed caution as we see the 8 of Jacob Sampson spinning out again by himself, trying to catch up, I guess. Not sure what he's doing. We did see, I believe that was a 17 of Doug Pickering. Possibly, we saw a black car, or black truck, trying to catch up. That may have been him that they called that for to give him time to get there. But there it is. A green flag is out, so now we are officially racing. And Carl Hayes, for old tires, what a start. He kind of took off like a rocket, as now we got a battle going on between Aaron Maspero and Brett Osborne for second place.
And the big loser from all that was Chuck Kemper in the 40. Got shuffled all the way to the back in 7th place right now. and restarted behind all of these caution cars. I think that may have been why they threw the flag against, because he wasn't caught up to the field yet.
Yeah, definitely. And within 10 to go, those guys, actually, they should go to the back anyway, but I believe with 10 to go, they would have gone back there. Indeed. But yeah, like you're saying, Chuck Kemper's back in 7th. Brian Jones in 4th. So they are separated by enough points now that could possibly change the points lead at the end of this race. So Chuck Kemper has got to get back up to the front now, at least a few spots, as he will take 6th there. But he needs to gain at least 1 or 2 more spots on Brian Jones if he wants to maintain that points lead.
Yeah, and Aaron Maspero just absolutely blew by Carl Hayes on the restart. And Brian Jones takes over 2nd. Brett Osborne falls right behind him in 3rd. And they've got a lap car separating them, it looks like. So that might get a little tangly there.
Yeah, definitely. As you see, Carl Hayes, 41 laps on those tires. He's back to 6th place. So he lost 5 spots on that restart. So not the best set of tires to do a restart on. It doesn't look like this time. Normally, he can get away with that. We've seen him do it. But it doesn't seem like it's going to happen here. This track must be wearing those tires a little bit more than he predicted they would be, as he has indeed lost several spots.
And to quote Darrell Waltrip, that's a short-term gain, long-term loss, especially when you have this many laps left in the race. If it had been 6 or 7 to go, that may have been a better call, but yeah, not with 20. And not especially with 40-lap old tires.
Yeah, those are very old tires. Everyone else, again, has about 10 on their tires now compared to 43 on his. As you're still watching Chuck Kemper try to get by Brett Osborne. But again, Brett Osborne, such a young driver, but such a good driver, as the caution is going to come out. Once again, it's going to be Jacob Sampson going around, so let's take a look.
Going into turn 3 there, he just loses it, and then, yeah, tried to save it, and then spun back around into the wall there.
Yeah, he did a fairly good job of trying to save it, almost collecting the 8 car and the 16, but manages to avoid them, or they managed to avoid him. But again, it's his about 3rd time he spun, so I would imagine that race control will be having a talk with him after the race. You can only cause so many cautions before they start putting you on probation, because that is not what they want to hear. They don't want caution after caution, especially for self spins like that. You can't drive it that hard. If you know you can't and the car won't handle it, you just can't do it. As now looks like we're gonna have about a 7 or 8 lap shootout.
Yeah, and this really works out in the favor of the 96 of Carl Hayes. He just pitted down there right now, and I think he's the only lead lap car to pit. So he'll probably be restarting about, let's say, 7th or 8th, possibly 9th if there was another wave around. But if there's 6 or 7 laps left by the restart, I think we could probably see him hit the top 3 before the end of this.
Yeah, it definitely could. And as you see now, Brian Jones sitting in 2nd place. Chuck Kemper sitting in 4th place. So he has closed that gap. And he's got, again, the youngster Brett Osborne right in between them now. So this could get interesting. You know Brett's not just going to hand him 2nd place. Or my bad, 3rd place. So this could get interesting.
Yeah, to be quite honest, I think the battle is going to be for 2nd. I mean, Aaron Maspero has just been practically perfect all day long. Only really losing the lead due to caution circumstances. I don't know. Who do you think has got a good chance?
Yeah, he definitely does. He's led 63 laps here, so he has wrapped up the most laps led. So unfortunately for Brian Jones, he can't clinch that bonus. He did lead 24 laps. But again, he is not going to lead the most. So that's 1 less bonus point. So that is a bonus for Chuck Kemper. So that's 1 less point he can pull away, as Brian Jones blinked there just a little bit, still having connection issues here. But right now it is Aaron Maspero, Brian Jones, and Brett Osborne in the top 3.
Yeah, and it looks like when everything is said and done, it's going to be Carl Hayes is going to be back in 8th position. So he is going to be on that outside lane. don't know exactly what he's going to be able to do from there, but I'd say let's see where that show takes us.
Yeah, definitely. We're taking a look here. As only 4 cautions here, so fewer than normal. Actually, 5 cautions. Looks like Rachel Hunt's going around there to get a lap back here. Lights are still on. We'll see if they go off this time. I guess that was 4 cautions. They must have just thrown one to give Rachel a chance to catch back up there. So again, they're going to be going green this time by. Can't really count that caution, but 5 laps to go. We're going to have 4 to go when they get the green flag.
Well, I don't know what you're seeing, Cody, but it looks like the pace car dove on pit, rode in the backstretch, and then iRacing immediately threw the green flag again.
We were on replay. I do apologize for that. There's the pace car, so I apologize. Rookie mistake there, staying on replay instead of going back to live. So that may have been what it was for. We saw Rachel come back around there. It looks like she may have got a lap back. But that's going to play a factor, so I do apologize. What a rookie mistake to stay on replay instead of going back to live. Do make those little mistakes here and there, so we do apologize. But lights are on the pace car, so this could make it really interesting, because now we're going to have about a 2-lap shootout if we even get the green flag.
Yeah, it would really suck if iRacing's little mistake here cost a green flag finish, but let's see what happens when this pace car hits the line here.
And we'll see.
Light is still on here, looks like.
So I don't see, if the lights do not go out this next time by, we will not go back racing. That is not how anybody wants to end this race. It is under caution, but again, lights have to go out this next time by, or we will not go racing.
I'm not sure enough caution laps have been rolled for iRacing to say okay, but
it's very interesting because nobody really wrecked. I didn't see anyone. I'm not sure why the caution was thrown, but like here, we'll see right there if the lights are going to go off.
Does not look like.
They are not, so we're not going racing this next time by. Will be lap. So again, I'm not sure what brought that out. That is very unfortunate, but it looks like it will give the win to Aaron Maspero. And taking a look here, as we'll take a look at our point standings real fast. Our race results, my bad. I am not sure if we've had him win. We have not, so that'll be our 5th winner in 5 races.
That's incredible.
So 5 different races, 5 different winners, as going to be very interesting. White flag is out under caution here, so that will do it. Again, we might get a word here if I figure out from race control what happened to bring out that last caution to end the race. But that is not the way any driver wants to end a race. But in the grand scheme of things, that will give the win to Aaron Maspero here. Again, being our 5th winner in 5 races. Followed by Brian Jones and Brett Osborne, the youngster, finishing in his first top 3 of the season.
Yeah, and absolutely deserved for Aaron Maspero there. I mean, that's over 70 laps led the day. He's had a dominant car all season, just never quite fell his way. And while it didn't end under ideal conditions, I really didn't see anybody else winning this race.
Yeah, definitely, I agree with that. He definitely would have won the race probably regardless, minus any major issues that did happen to self-spin or wreck or anything like that. But he did walk away with the win, whether it was under caution or leading. He led 70 laps regardless. We're going to step away for just a minute here. We'll be right back with your post-race show here in just a few minutes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here in your post-race show, starting as always with third place, the youngster in the group, as we like to refer to him as, Brett Osborne. What a race! I know you personally. I've seen you race in real life. We've seen you win in go-karts. Know your family pretty well. You finish in third, your first podium of the series for this season. So what's it like being on the podium here tonight at such a tricky little track?
Yeah, it's definitely pretty cool. It's definitely tough. With this group of people, track was tough tonight. Some people are good on the bottom, some people are good on the top, and just got a little bit of luck, and setup was good and got her done, I guess.
Well, definitely, you did get it done here. You finished third. We'll take a look at the points here in just a little bit. We probably won't have time to get those here in the post-race show. We are working on some things to where we can do that quicker, but we're going to try to get that out as soon as possible to these drivers right after the race. But you did good. You battled all night. We had a lot of guys scraping the wall. We saw you there getting really loose. So was that truck just a handful here, or what was going on with it?
Yeah, I was a handful there for a little bit. I started getting a little bit of wheel hop going in. Just had to change a little bit of the driving style to get it not to do that, and guys got it enough to get it good and not get loose anymore.
All right. Well, as always, we want to know any sponsors or a shout out you want to give for that third place finish here tonight.
Yes, I'd like to thank CTB and everybody and Dylan for helping me with the setup this week, and of course MaxSpeedTV for putting this stuff on.
All right. Well, again, congrats on that. We'll see where you stack up in the points here in just a little bit. Sitting in second in points going into this. I'm not sure. It looks like you definitely cut into a Chuck Kemper's lead. I'm not sure if you will pass him or not, but Brian Jones in the finishes second place here tonight. So from your side of things, you were up front pretty much all day. So what was it like up there? We know you led 24 laps. Obviously, Aaron Sparrow did get by you. So trying to run him down, what was it like? Did you have anything for him here tonight?
Well, I was a little bit disappointed to get second. Well, a lot disappointed to get second, considering that I had the pole going in the race. Felt like I had a pretty good setup. I thought I'd be good on the long run. It started getting really tight after about 17 laps or so. Pretty hard to get turn in, and yeah, I guess I mean it wasn't too bad because I cut into Chuck's lead on the points, but yeah, I wish I could have got the win tonight.
Yeah, you definitely were fast all night. Like you said, you did get pole. Overall, it would be cool. Obviously, you'd want to get in the victory lane, but you have a good points night. You are going to cut into that lead. It looks like you may be a point or two out of the points lead, so that battle is just growing with every week. So we get to run this track yet again next week. So it's a little different. You already have a setup. Obviously, are you happy with the setup since you did start on pole, or are you going to keep that setup kind of to the side and kind of tweak on it a little bit and see if you can't improve it at all?
Well, I'm definitely going to tweak on it a little bit. I don't know if I'm going to make it better or make it worse. We'll have to see. But if it gets worse, I'll just go back to my setup from this week. Obviously, it's not going to be good enough to beat Aaron. He was just so good today, and 41 was just fast. I couldn't even touch him. He was so far out there.
Well, definitely he was fast. But as always, we'd like to know any sponsor shout-out you want to give for the second place finish here tonight.
Yeah, I want to thank Jalopnik.com for paying the bills, and thanks for T&D Rustic Decor for sponsoring this series, and thanks for MaxSpeedTV for putting out the race.
All right. Well, again, congrats on second, and definitely hang tight with us here. We'll definitely get those points out right after this race, let you know where everyone finishes. But again, the guy leading 70 of the 100 laps here. Unfortunately, you won the race under caution thanks to iRacing deciding y'all should start on the back stretch instead of the front stretch, and a caution being coming out for that, which was the right call. Nobody should be starting on the back stretch. But regardless, we were talking about you in the booth. You led so many laps. You were so dominant. I don't know if anybody would have got by you anyway. So we were just saving your tires, so maybe you can use them as scuff tires next week. But what was it like? You had led so many laps. Did you have any worries that one of these guys might get a run for you after one of these cautions?
Yeah, I mean it's always a possibility here, especially starting on the inside. It's a disadvantage. I don't know if you saw, but I was trying to keep the outside guys as close to the wall as possible before we went green, but we've got to give them racing room. So yeah, especially here, anything can happen.
Now, again, such a dominant car, and we just talked to Brian Jones about it. He's obviously going to tweak on his car, hopefully making it for the better. But you never know. We've been in the thing, you mess with it so much, you go the opposite way that you want to, but you always have that backup to fall back on. Do you have any plans to tweak yours at all, or as dominant as you were, you just kind of sit on it? Again, we do have an update coming out tomorrow, so that could change things too. But barring that update doesn't change anything, do you have any plans to work too much on it, or are you going to kind of take a little bit of a break and just come back next week and run it again?
Well, first off, just like to say thanks for Doug Pickering. He did most of the work on the set this week, so the track was bad fast, and so thanks to him. Yeah, we've got a few things on the development bench which we've been playing with. To be honest, having such a good truck tonight gives us a bit of a chance in the next week just to try some left field stuff and see if we can find some stuff. We're still struggling to keep the splitter as low as we want. So yeah, we'll do a bit of tweaking, but it certainly won't be as much work as we did this week.
Definitely, that'll save you some time. You get to kind of sit back, reflect, relax, and reflect on that victory here tonight. But of course, a win is a win, whether it was under caution because of a little funky thing with iRacing or not. Doesn't matter. You still led a ton of laps. Any sponsors, shout out you want to give for that win here tonight?
Just thanks to all you guys for putting it on each week. It's a great little series. I really enjoyed it. Thanks to Fastlane Racing who support us, and yeah, we'll come back next week and try and repeat.
All right. Well, again, congrats on the win. We are not done just yet, folks. We still have 2 more pieces of business to take care of. One of those being your unofficial race results. Again, barring any race control issues, I don't see too many that race control would have to take care of. But we will definitely let you know next week if there were any from this race. But again, getting the win here tonight in first is Aaron Maspero. Second place, Brian Jones. Third place, Brett Osborne. Fourth place, Chuck Kemper. And rounding out your top 5 is Trey Galgon. Sixth place goes to Brent Day. Seventh place, Carl Hayes. Eighth place, Doug Pickering. Ninth place, Dylan Altum. And 10th place, Philip Daniels Jr. 11th place goes to Jason Deere. 12th place, Rachel Hunt. 13th, Jacob Sampson. 14th, Caleb Weekly. And rounding out your top 15 are Chris Arencia. Again, Andy Oakley finishing in 16th place. 17th, Michael Given, who did not start the race. He was here in the booth with us for tonight's race. So a big shout out to all the guys that made it here, a 17-car field. So this track, you can't hold too many. We get about 20, 25, more than that, and you'll be starting on the backstretch. Well, some of them will. Not like today. We did have a little iRacing mess up there. But that did end the race, unfortunately. But aside from that, a great race here. So a big shout out to all the sponsors that do make all this possible on the MaxSpeedTV side of things. SimSpeedShop.com. They have some great sim items there for you, button boxes and other great items. Check them out on their website or on Facebook. HRE Motorsports and Elite 7 Racing, the 2 teams that help us do what we do best here on MaxSpeedTV. So definitely check them out on their Facebook pages. Virtual2Reality.tv, they give us 3-month codes to give away. We do have some of those on hand now. So right after this race is over, hop over to MaxSpeedTV Facebook page. The first person to shoot us a message telling us, I have never been on iRacing before, I want to get into it, I have a gaming controller or a racing wheel and pedals, we will hook you up with a 3-month code to join iRacing. Dirt Co. Media House. If it wasn't for them, we would not be on the Facebook page right now, on the Virtual to Reality page. So a big shout out to them. And our newest partner on board is Ohio IndyCar League. They are a brand new partner with us here, sponsor. If you are in the Ohio club here on iRacing, check them out if you love IndyCar racing, as they have some fantastic racing going on. As always, title sponsor of this series is T&D Rustic Decor. A big shout out to them. Definitely go check them out on Facebook. Let them know you heard about it here. If you are, they will ship, but if you are in the Oklahoma area, definitely go check them out. You can get some great rustic items there. They always are out looking for new things to sell. On the championship side of things, the champion of this season will receive a plaque. It is an awesome looking plaque. We've posted some samples on our Facebook page. There are No Excuses Sim Series. That is TJ Woodworking. So if you are looking for any woodworking needs, plaques, anything like that, you can check them out, TJ Woodworking, on their Facebook page and see some of their work. We've seen a lot of college football related wood items, wood engravings. Definitely check them out. Again, that is TJ Woodworking. So on behalf of the T&D Rustic Decor Short Track Series and MaxSpeedTV, we will see you at the next broadcast here be next Sunday night, and we actually have the UDRA series coming up at 6:30 tonight. We'll be right back here on MaxSpeedTV for that. So we will see you at the next race and tonight for some dirt track racing.